Hello all my lovely jewelry makers, I'm Christina at CSLdesigns, and in today's video I'm going to be opening another dollar bead box. Have it right here ready, so let's just dig in straight away. Just got my scissors out, opening that tape up. Now I'm going to open that up, and then usually we have the bag first. So I'm just going to look at that first and then just put the box away. I'll do one thing at a time here. Now, first impressions, interesting. Of course we have the paper as well that tells us what's in there, and a few different strands. So let's just have a bit of a closer look at it. So we have our usual strands. We have 4 3mm strands and 4 4mm strands. So I'm just going to start right from the top there. I'll just separate them out a little bit just so it's organized. We first have matte topaz. So it's got to be this one here, topaz color, and it's matte as well. Get that kind of matte sensation. I do love matte beads. There's something special about them. Obviously I like shiny ones as well, or sparkly ones. Next we have crystal half copper. This one, apart from that bright blue, which we're going to get to, this is the other one that caught my eye straight away. There's something really catchy about this, I think. So it's basically a crystal base, so just clear, and then it's half coated in copper. But there's also something a bit rosy about it. It's really beautiful. I'm definitely really liking that one, that's for sure. That's probably the favourite so far that I can see. And then matte light peridot. That's going to be this light, delicate green. It's a really pretty and elegant green. And again, matte. And then we have winter blue. And a nice, delicate light blue as well. And that's not matte. So obviously you can easily mix matte and not matte beads. But that's the 3mm ones. Then we get to the 4mm ones. We have the first one called True Purple. I'm guessing that's got to be the purple one here. It's fairly dark purple, I would say. And they're all faceted as well, so they do have a nice little sparkle when you move them. Obviously purple is a favourite colour of mine, but... Then next we have Jonquil, which... not entirely sure how to pronounce that, but process of elimination, green and blue, so it's got to be this one here. It's a very delicate browny yellow, I would say. I'm not familiar with that name or colour, but nice and delicate. And then we have the matte emerald green, which is obviously this one. And again, that matte tone I really do like. It just does something different to the beads, I think. Nice and bright though. And then we have the cobalt blue. Now this, aside from that copper one, this was the first one that really caught my eye because it is really bright and vibrant. It is definitely a very beautiful blue. Probably shows in the camera, but I think it's even more in real life than it actually might be on the camera. It's definitely very, very vibrant. So they are very beautiful. And actually, my first thought when I separated them out, if I put all the 4mm ones together, in a way, they kind of go really well together themselves, all these colours, and it's quite classy looking, I think. Elegant and classy, for some reason. That was just my first thought when I saw them separated out. But anyway, that's the strands from the bag. So we've looked at them. And chances are there might be some beads in there that I'll want to try and use for something. Right, so we need to get the box back. So I have that here. And then we again have the paperwork. I'm going to keep that handy. Just take the box away. I've got some space. And then wrap in this tissue paper and get it out of the way so we can get rid of the noise. But I do always keep that, it's always handy. Right, so let's have a little look here. First I'm just going to separate all the strands from the bags. So far this looks quite interesting. I'm getting some feelings already, certain feelings about it and impressions. Just making sure I have all the strands there. So what I'm going to do, I usually just push the bags out of the way and then just look at kind of one thing at a time here. And then I'm just also going to keep my paperwork handy. And then first of all, just reading the intro a little bit. On the paper there, there's check glass beads and Japanese seed beads included. So, I'm just going to flip that over, have a little look. keep it handy. Like I said, here it's also separated out. That's why I like to separate them. Keep it a little bit organized. And then let's just zoom in a little bit so we can actually have a closer look. So first on the list we have some 6x8mm check glass squished ovals, and they're either olive or jet in colour. So to me that's got to be these ones here, and I've got the black ones, and they're definitely, it's a pretty good description I think, kind of squished ovals, because they're not perfectly round obviously, they're not perfect ovals either, they are kind of a bit squished, so it's a pretty good description, and definitely jet black, so nice kind of base or background colour. I'll go with anything. Then we have 8mm check glass struck. It's got to be these ones, large ones. And the colour is Alexandrite. So a nice, delicate, light, kind of clear blue. And perfectly round as well. Nice size. And then after that, basically to go with it, we have the equivalent, but in 4mm. Again, that same colour. Perfectly round. And obviously, they can easily be used together. They go really well. And will also go really well with loads of other things. So they are really nice. It's a lovely delicate blue, that. That's why my first impression when I saw it was really from the strands. Was probably partly because of them. Very kind of, I don't know why, but Winter Wedding jumped in my head. Because of the colour scheme a little bit. Them delicate blues, obviously the black, a bit of darkness. And then some shimmery and some minted colours. It was just Winter Wedding jumped straight in my head. But anyway, moving on. Next we have some 3mm check glass pearls, and that's coral luster, so that's got to be these ones here, that colour. It's got a nice kind of shimmer to it. Nice finish. And the next ones are the same, but in mint tea. So a nice bright minty. Again, kind of a pearly sheen to it. And the final ones we have are 4mm check fire polish, and they are matte crystal AB. So they're basically, if you're familiar with gemstones, a bit like labradorite. Obviously made different, this is a coating, but it's the same kind of feel to it, where it's that kind of grey undertone to it, and then it has these little sparkles of kind of AB bluish metallic tones as well. So they're really nice, and you get quite a few on a lot of these strands. So there's some nice strands here, like I said, to me, Winter Wedding, but we'll wait and see what I can maybe come up with, and what we can also combine them with maybe. Right, then let's move on to the additional items. So I'm going to go down on my list here, and that's all that's in the bags that I pushed out of the way. So I've brought them back in, and I'm going to just go through them one at a time and kind of look at which one it is, and then see about picking it out, and then have a look at it. So first of all, we have 10mm pewter large hole slider. So it's either antique copper or silver plated. So let me try and find them. And I'm thinking it's got to be these ones here. So that looks like I've got the silver plated, and you get two. So basically what I'm taking this as is, you got there, you can see the large hole, is that you can put them on either a thick cord or maybe a braid of some sort. And then they can just slide over the cord of the braid. Like a Kumihimo braid would be nice in it. And then they would kind of add just a bit of embellishment, because they have some patterning on them as well. So that's some findings first of all. Then we have some beads, so the 4mm check glass struck, and then matte jet, so that's going to be black ones, and 40 pieces, so it's quite a few. So to me that's got to be these ones here. So they kind of look, yeah, they are matte, it says so as well, and obviously the black. So basically some small beads. Let me just get a few out. I wonder how large the holes are as well. Just see if I can get a couple out, not too many. Oh, and of course they spill out. Anyway, right. They seem a bit, it's not perfectly round, but they're a bit faceted, have some shape to them. And let me just get up close. Actually, it seems like fairly decent sized holes. So that'll be interesting. Black can obviously always be used, in my opinion. It literally goes with everything. And the fact that the matte is pretty interesting. It's a bit different as well. And then next we have basically the same, but in crystal. So that's clear ones. So same principle. maybe no need to get them out because it'll be the same as the other ones, just in the crystal instead of the black. So they look like that. Now, then we have some 6x8mm hand cut faceted bead, and it's a smoky quartz. You get 2 of them, so it's a pair. That's got to be these ones. That's definitely, they're not round, they're kind of faceted rounds, but very rough faceted or large faceting. And you get that smoky quartz colour. So they're kind of clear, but they have that kind of really smokiness to them. Obviously, hence the name. Definitely an interesting shape, I will say. So that is something, again, that smoky colour I feel can also go with so many other different colours and go with many things. And then next we have a jade butterfly. So that is 16x20mm. Seems decent size, and you get 1. I did notice a bit of a butterfly shape when I was taking them out, so I figured that's got to be this one. And that is cute. I'm guessing there'll be a hole. Yes, right there, if you can maybe see that, right from top down through to the bottom. Can't really catch that. There we go. And then it's a nice carved little butterfly. So that'd be cute, and either just kind of as a dangle or a charm, or even worked into maybe some wire work or something. It's a cute little one, and a nice delicate, pretty summery colour, I would say, or spring colour. Right, then we have brass eye pins. I did notice them. So some findings. They seem pretty long. Sometimes you get some short ones and sometimes long ones. It depends what you need. They're both fine. So these are pretty long, and you get a decent amount here. So obviously you can use them with any of the beads that you get in here. You don't necessarily have to have them yourself. And then next we have some pearls by the looks of it, and what looks to be maybe a bit of a different shape. So the freshwater square coin pearls sounds quite interesting. You get 2, and that's these ones here. So that definitely looks interesting. Now, I am familiar with and work with different pearls, but I don't think I've ever really seen this shape before. So they definitely are square, but kind of puffy squares or coin squares, you could say. And then where would the hole be, maybe? I think, just get it a bit close. Yep. It's from a flat side there. So from that top flat side down, straight through to the flat side there. That's where the hole is. And they are quite small, the holes. They usually tend to be in pearls most of the time, but also obviously these, they aren't that thick, so the hole can only be so large. But they are pretty cute, and I do love pearlescent effect on pearls in general. And then next there's some more pearls by the looks of it. There's a large hole potato pearl, and you get 2 of them. So that's unlike most pearls where the holes are quite small. These ones are purposely made large. And potato pearl, that means they're not perfectly round, they're kind of a bit more naturally shaped, a bit like a potato would be, hence the name. And you can see that straight away the hole is definitely larger. You can get more through there, even a decent sized wire, I would say. And you kind of have this ridge running all the way around, and a nice size in the pearls as well. And I do like, I would probably say my favourite is the basic white pearls. There's something really nice about them. And then we just have a couple more left now. So the next one is a faceted bicone. It's a 60mm, so pretty large. Jet hematite snakeskin travertine is the description. So it's got to be this one, a pretty large single bicone. So we get it out, and it looks like this. Definitely the description fits nicely, and it's quite a large one. So it's definitely, I would say, kind of a feature piece. It definitely could be anyway. But at the same time, the colour scheme will go with anything else. And the hole is pretty large again. Obviously it's a large bead, so you kind of expect that. It's definitely quite different and unusual. It's got nice patterning on it. So we're then down to the very final one, which It's also one I kind of saw as one of the first things you can't really miss it, to be honest. It's quite large. You can see 28 by 30 millimeters, so a large porcelain oval. And it's either dusty pink, mauve, or blue. And you get one. So I would say this is the dusty pink. And we have, again, a very nice large size hole there. And that porcelain effect all the way around, so kind of porcelain patterning to it. And that dusty pink colour is really quite nice. And definitely an interesting bead. And this, I would say, because of obviously the size as well, quite a feature bead, I would say, in any piece. Or you can use it as a base and create something on top of it. Use it as a background. That's quite interesting as well. So that's through all of them now, all the strands and all the items in the box. So this is then everything from the box and the bag. So now it's time, like usual, for me to go through, have a little think about the things that kind of stand out to me that I maybe want to use, and then play around with them and try and come up with some designs. So I'll get right back to you. So I'm now back to show you the pieces that I ended up making. So first of all, I picked out some of these smaller rounds, so 4mm ones from the bag, I think it was. This really lovely bright blue colour. That definitely kind of instantly jumped at me because it kind of jumps right in your face, I think. Now, what I actually wanted to do this time was take advantage of having some of these beads and play around with something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I did that, and I've actually become quite happy with what I've ended up with. So the very first thing I did was this wire crocheted bracelet, which wire crochet is something I've been wanting to experiment with and basically start doing for quite a long time. I did used to crochet when I was younger, you know, I think most kids do, but then, you know, most kids stop as well, which I did as well. So I had to kind of get it refreshed, and my mum recently came to visit us, so I just got the basics refreshed. So since then I've kind of been getting a little bit hooked on this wire crochet. So I started out making this bracelet here. So obviously I used these blue beads to go down the center as kind of like a feature, then with the wire crochet as the base of the bracelet, and then it ends up looking like this. Now, like I said, I'm actually really quite happy with how these pieces ended up, so I'm definitely going to be working with more wire crochet designs. And then it looks like this on, which I think also is really lovely. And I just really love the way the wire crochet ends up having this movement to it, which normally wire work doesn't have. So that's obviously wire crochet with a finer gauge. And then I just really like this blue color against that copper wire. So that was the first piece. Now to match that, I didn't use all these beads, aren't all the ones that I used on here. I also then made a matching ring. I thought, why not? So just added 3 beads as a feature, so obviously that'll match the bracelet nicely. You can wear them together. And then also I ended up making, also with these blue beads, you can see there's still some left, so they were used for 3 separate pieces of jewelry here. Basically a pendant to match. So this round pendant, I initially just started out wanting to kind of practice a bit making the round wire crochet, and then I ended up adding these beads as well. Initially I thought about doing earrings out of them, so making 2, but there wasn't quite enough beads to make another one and adding all the same beads all the way around. So I ended up making one and turning it into a pendant instead, but I also think this would look really nice as a pair of earrings, and obviously added a chain. So basically ended up making a whole set, you could say, quite easily wear it together here, of wire crochet, if I can have it all in my hands, with those blue beads and then copper wire. And like I said, I'm really quite pleased with this actually. I'm definitely going to be working more with wire crochet, and these blue beads are really quite lovely with that copper wire. But then moving on, those were the first 3 wire crochet pieces. I then, like I said, I got a bit hooked so I couldn't stop. I then picked out these beads here, so the purple ones also from the bag, and these clear ones but with part metallic coating. And I thought they went really well together and will make possibly quite an elegant piece of jewelry. So again, I grabbed my wire and my crochet hook, because I was hooked, literally, and then ended up making another bracelet, but then combining these two, and as you can see, adding the beads along the outside edges instead, all the way along. And I do think these two beads together have ended up making it a really elegant piece of jewelry, so I'm really happy that I kind of alternated instead of just picking one of them. And these two go really well, I think, as well with silver wire, where the blue is really nice. Would be nice with silver as well, but it just works really well with copper, I think. So I'm really happy with these wire crochet pieces that I ended up making, especially the bracelets. I really love the movement in these pieces. So yeah, as you can see, I got a little bit hooked on wire crochet. But moving on from that, those were the 4 pieces out of those 3 strands, and again, not even fully used, still a fair few beads left. Then I picked out some other rounds, which also really appealed to me. I picked these ones out. These were from the box. So the reason that they appealed to me is because they're perfectly round, so that was really nice. You can definitely tell that. But there's just something very elegant about them that I really like. It's obviously they're clear, but have that delicate colour to them. So again, it's something you can make really elegant things with this, and I thought combining it with silver wire would make it definitely really elegant. So I ended up making, with these beads, not one complete piece of both of them, but I ended up making a bracelet with the larger ones. This is my Egyptian style wire work bracelet. You can see that wire along the edge of the beads, and then of course using the smaller ones I had to make a matching ring, because that's what I thought as well was perfect. You get these 2 different sizes in the same bead, so you can either use them together or in separate pieces but make matching things. So I ended up making a matching set, which is perfect. Perfect sizes for these pieces here with this design. So like I said, ended up really elegant, I think. So these are all the pieces I made with this month's box and bag. As you can see, I only actually really used a few of the beads from there, the box and bag, but achieved, I think, a fair few pieces. And obviously you can make loads more still. And like I said, I'm quite happy with what I ended up with. So I'll definitely, like I said as well, be working far more with wire crochet now that I've kind of poked a hole at it. I'm definitely going to keep working with that. Like I said, I'm hooked. But otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this video here, seeing what I can make with some of the materials from the bag and the box. Thank you so much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.